Hello, and this is day 7 of 30 Days of Health and Hope. This is Dr. Lavelle, and today what we're going to be talking about is detoxification. Now, I talked a little bit yesterday about how important it is, how important gut health is, and that one of the most important things towards our gut health was making sure that we were cleansed and detoxified throughout. So what exactly does that mean? It doesn't mean, as I mentioned, that it doesn't mean that you are drinking nasty green smoothies. It doesn't mean that you're putting a tube up you know where. What it does mean, though, is that you are cleaning out your liver, your kidneys, your whole system so that everything works well and keeps going well that way. So what are some of the things that we can possibly do? Because, this is a specific time. We want to make sure that we are cleansing ourselves as much as possible. And so what are the things that we can do, each and every one of us, right now? Let's start with the thing that's right around all of us, the air that we breathe. So open your windows, air your house out. This is, I mentioned, it's beautiful in North Carolina right now, although there is a lot of pollen. And so if you're doing that to get more fresh air in your house, you want to make sure also that you're changing those air filters pretty frequently. Maybe if they say 3 months, then maybe cut it in half, because you want to make sure that you're not recirculating air that's not really healthy for you. And what's on the opposite of air? Water. Okay, so let's look at our water. We want to make sure that we're drinking filtered water. So not necessarily bottled. And I know right now, if you go to the grocery stores, everyone's, so many people are just grabbing bottled water with the fear that they're not going to be able to get it later. But what I want to say is it's much more productive, it's much more ecologically sound to have a filter within your home that filters your water rather than drinking out of a plastic bottle that is not so great for the environment and also may be exposing you to BPA depending on the product that you're actually drinking. So just make sure that you're drinking filtered water, drinking a lot of it, and if possible, do it through your own filter. Then we're going to talk about food. So let me just kind of give this little picture right here. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about eating foods that are going to cleanse you and detoxify you. So not necessarily, just drinking kale juice all day long or whatever. We want to eat foods that are cleansing and healthy for us all throughout. So if you want to know which foods are better as far as pesticides and which ones to eat, because we want to avoid pesticides if we can, number one, start with organic. But what if you can't eat all organic? Then, as I've mentioned to many of my practice members, you want to look at the environmental working groups Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. So on the Dirty Dozen, they update this every single year because it does change. These are the top 12 areas of produce that are most likely to have heavy residues of pesticides on them. So you want to avoid these specifically and buy those organically if you can. If you can't buy everything, then look at the Clean 15. That's exactly the opposite of the Dirty Dozen. So the Clean 15 are the top 15 that are actually that don't have a lot of pesticide residue. And so if you're not able to buy everything organic, then it really doesn't matter. Okay, so those are the answers. As far as your personal products, and that's one of the easiest things to start with, and one of the best things, because as I mentioned, with women putting so many hundreds of products on themselves every day, if you take a chance and choice and start looking at what you're putting on your body, start looking at the labels, not only in what you eat, but what you're putting in your house and what you're putting on your skin. And try to stick with things that you actually can read, that you actually know what they are. So things like coconut oil. I know what coconut oil, you know what that is. But do you know what the phthalates and the sulfates and all of these other things? Not necessarily. So these are the things that you want to avoid if you possibly can. And just kind of keep going with that. When I speak about how I started, maybe 5-10 years ago, I actually started, changing my home around. And the first thing I did was change what I had in my bathroom, what I was putting on myself. And some of you may have heard the story that I counted up one day, and I had 69 different bottles of shampoo and lotion, and I was kind of out there. So I cut back on those. I started learning what I was actually putting on me, and that's how I started. And then we kind of built from there. So, and that's what I'm mentioning and saying that all of us need to do. So if once you get what's on your skin, because as you know now, your skin is one giant mouth. Once you get your skin settled, then take another look. What's the next place you want to expand out to? Maybe next it'll be the products you're putting in your home, because the things that you put in your home, and you're cleaning your carpets and washing your windows, you're exposing not only yourself and your family, but your pets if you have them as well. So think about all of those things there. And then the last thing that you can do is then look into the kitchen. And maybe that's the first, if that's the most important to you. It doesn't really matter. So what are you storing things in? You know, for instance, if you're the type that you've got takeout and it's in a styrofoam container and you're storing your food in there, then take a step up maybe to, you know, either a regular plastic container that's BPA free, or even better, take that final step up to something like glass or ceramic to store your things in. That's actually the least reactive and better for you. So it's just making these changes one by one as you're going along to make your house less toxic with all of the things that you're doing. Another big thing is mold. That's out there. If you, especially with basements, and if you're in a place that's very muggy and has a lot of water, you want to make sure that you're cleaning yourself of mold, or cleaning your home of mold all the time. There are some lots of issues where people are just chronically ill and just don't feel well and don't realize what it is, and they realize they're actually sensitive to mold. So that's another thing you want to avoid. How about the things that you're putting in your body as far as medications? We talked yesterday about nonsteroidals and how they can actually make your gut leaky. Other things like birth control pills for a long period of time, or the SSRIs, the antidepressant medications. These are other things that can literally change how your gut flora work, how your gut works, and therefore your immune status and your status of being inflamed or not. So these are the kind of things that you want to do. And then as far as foods specifically that you would want to eat, think about the cruciferous vegetables. Now, as I mentioned with the EWG, we want to make sure that we're eating things that are either organic, or if they're not organic, then they usually have a low level of pesticides. So going with that, that would be great. So things like the cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, as long, again, as they're organic, celery, parsley. These are things that are going to clean our bodies and our livers as we're going through. Now, one of the important things, though, is that no matter what you're doing with detoxification, you want to do it from a place of strength. You know, if you're not feeling well already, this is not the time to start a very stringent kind of detoxification. But it would be the time to start something that is whole food based, like those photos that we have right there on my left right there. Foods like that are whole foods that are going to build your body, build your tissues, build your energy, your immune status, and your strength. So this is the way that you would want to detoxify, gently but effectively. The other things are things like sauna and other external things that you can add. Now, if you're unclear about what you can do, one of the reasons that I'm speaking today is that it can be very overwhelming to try and figure out how best to detoxify, especially when there's so much stress and anxiety going on at this particular time. And so what I want to offer all of you would be to join my Refresh Cleanse, which is a 7-day cleanse, really very, very short, 2 days ramping on, 2 days ramping off, literally just less than 2 weeks. And what it does, though, is just start getting your body back to working the way it should be, to being more efficient, to be cleansed without the stringent kind of stress, really, on your body that a more harsh cleanse would do. If you're not sure about that, then feel free to call me. I'm actually doing complimentary 15 minute consultations, limited though, because I don't have a lot of space on my schedule, but limited to those who would like something even more customized than the Refresh Cleanse. So most of those things will be available. I'll put them down below so that you'll be able to see what they are. It would either be the Refresh Cleanse, where you would know what foods to eat and how to go about it, versus actually having a call with me so that we can actually sit down and come up what would be the best plan for you. So again, this is Dr. Susan Lavelle. It is day 7. I can't believe we're a whole week into this already. Day 7 of 30 days of health and hope. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.